This is a quick video to show you how to create the detail on 10-28 in the book, exercise 2. And the end result looks like this one. So first of all, in the top view, you'll draw the circles so that the center to center circle is 100 millimeters from here, center to center. And then you've got a diameter of 15, a radius of 22, and then at the midpoint of this line you have a radius of 40. Now I didn't have to create this box here. I don't need it until a little bit later on. It's up to you whether you turn off your quadrant and center object snaps in order to turn on the tangent to draw these lines that are tangent to each one of these circles. If you're going to turn those off, you can rest your pointer on the sixth icon right here, right click, and turn off the quadrant and center and on the tangent. That's one way. What I prefer to use is to just leave those alone and on, and hold my shift key down and press my right mouse button to get this menu when I need it. So you would start the line command, hold your shift key down, press your right mouse button, pick tangent, and then pick here when you see tangent, and then hold your shift key down, press the right mouse button, pick tangent, and come over here to pick up the other tangent. Okay, so you have your 4 lines, and now you can trim all of those so that they look more like this. And then I'm drawing the side profile of the finished part. And some people might draw it right in 3D, but to get a little more experience with the 3D rotate for you, I'm drawing it here as a flat image, and you can see that I allowed for the depth of this part, which is 18 here. So once you have that, you can go to the View Cube and I'll just copy this so that I can show you how to do it again. Okay, so now you have this. I'm going to go ahead and take this line out. And now if I go to the Modify panel and pick this 3D Rotate Sphere looking icon, I can select here this side profile that I created and then enter it and pick a base point. I'll just click here. And importantly here is which ring you use to pick the axis that you want to rotate it around. So I'm going to click on here this green ring to get that green y-axis, and then type in 90 and enter. And so you see now I've taken this flat image and I've used 3D rotate to kind of stand it up on its side. And now I use the move command to move it in place on this line I had over here. So use 3D rotate, and this is only one way of working with it, but as a choice you can use 3D rotate to rotate this up, move it into place, and then you're ready to use press pull, or in the modeling tab, press pull. Like I said, this is a quick detail that's actually drawn in the other class and I'm helping a student with, but thought I'd share it with you. Here is press pull. Sometimes you have to hold your shift key down in the wheel of the mouse so that you can orbit and kind of get at a better angle to press pull these objects. So what I would do also is kind of move your mouse around. You see how I had to move my mouse around so that it would pick up an edge and then click inside the space. And here I can type in 18, and that gives me the base. See, it's just kind of filling that extra box I had in there. And then this one is a little bit harder. Oh, it actually worked for me, so I can hold my Shift key down in my wheel of my mouse and orbit around if I needed to. I can click, pull my mouse out, and this is half of 18. So I'll just type in 9 and enter. You see, notice how it went in the opposite direction because it's a positive 9. So if I click here and pull my mouse out and type in 9 and enter, now I have 9 on both sides, and this was the hard part for me. I had to kind of orbit around and find here a good spot to click inside this circle. And here I'm going to type in 20, and then I can click right on the face of this and type in 20. Alright, that would be the next step. So now I'm ready to union these pieces. If I started to use fillet, it wouldn't recognize these as being one piece. So I'll use the union command here to select all of these solid pieces and enter. Now when I use fillet, I'll have one piece to fillet. If I had separate pieces, then it wouldn't kind of blend together. So I'll start the fillet command and I'll click on an edge, and then I can type in 3 and enter and continue clicking these sides here. I'm actually holding my Shift key down and the wheel of my mouse to come around to the other side. I'm going to venture to pick up these other edges. Sometimes it's a little fussy about the fillets, and enter. And there it goes. It did actually fillet all the sides that I wanted. And now if I start the fillet command again and click on this edge, and I can just press enter to accept 3. I'm going to type in C for chain and enter. And if I do that, once I select here this edge, see how it goes all the way around? And it kind of picks up the chain of edges when I press enter. It will fillet the bottom part. Now watch your command line, because the first time I did it, it asked me if I wanted to fillet those sides, and I had to press enter to confirm it. I did also use tangent for these lines here, so it was only tangent to the circle, but I used endpoint here and then tangent to the circle. Okay, and now if you are deciding to put your text in model space for your title, I'll just go ahead and copy this over into space here. I can go to the southeast isometric view by picking here this cube, go to the coordinates panel and pick here view. You'll see that the Z is coming out at me. So then I can go to annotate and multi-line text, and it's going to be really small. We have to multiply everything by the 25.4 in order to increase the scale factor. So I'll just go ahead and put here assignment 10-28. Exercise 2. My name. maybe highlight the text title and pick U for underline. And then if you highlight this text, you can click up here and change the number to 3 and then enter. It looks huge, but then when you click inside the screen, it kind of becomes a normal text height. Another way of doing that would have been to start multi-line text, click a point, and then right here in the command line, type in H for height and enter, and then 3 and enter, and then pull your mouse down and click and start typing. That would be a more direct way of placing that text. But you see, now that I'm now that I have my UCS icon rotated towards me, towards the view, I have something that I can go over here and print. And when I print, I'm going to print with a window. And the window will be here around my object. Now the other choice that we used in class was to go to Layout 1 at the bottom left. If you go to Layout 1 and double click inside this viewport, you can roll the wheel towards whatever detail that you want. And then double click outside of this box so that you can click once on this viewport and use these blue here grips to crop the view. I would have to go back in and move this piece. Actually, I can do it right here. So because I'm in model, I can actually work within it. I'll just select it, kind of hold my left mouse button down on it, drag and drop it out of place, and then crop it. Once I'm using layout space, if I don't want this box here to print, then I'm going to go over to my layers and create here a new layer and you could call it no plot, or in industry sometimes we call it viewport because these are called viewports. And more importantly here, that new layer is going to have this printer selected so that it has a red little dot on it so that it becomes a no plot layer. If I close out of this here, I can go back and select that viewport or that hole in the paper, come back to this layer drop down and put it on the no plot layer so that it won't print. Then with the text layer current, if you'd like to use the text layer or layer 0, you can then go to annotate and use multi-line text, but because we're putting the text right here in the paper, I don't have to adjust the size. It will be automatic because I'm putting it on the paper and I'm not putting it in the model space. Now when I print, I won't need to use the window. I'm printing the layout, so all I need to change is the printer, and I should use monochrome here. This is an STB, it should be in CTB. Pick apply layout, preview, and there it is. Okay, have fun. Okay, so now you should go back and put the UCS back into the world coordinate. You can do that by using this little world icon so that you go back to that original XY plane that AutoCAD uses here to draw the top view on. Okay, hope this helps. Don't hesitate to contact me if you need some help.